don't want to say quit. They jump in the transfer portal. You call that what you want before a sellout crowd.
Sadly, the regular season is ending, but doesn't mean that we can't do some reflecting. And we reflected on this season. Let's take it back another season. 2023 was the season that everybody wanted to put Coach Prime's head on a pike. They wanted to goddamn say he's a loser. He can't do it at this level. And a lot of the things that they pointed to was the situation that had to happen with the transfer portal. We don't have to go over the whole Louis situation and get out of town and all that other stuff. So all we're going to do is I want to go back to 2023 and not the super I don't think people have really paid attention to this interview a lot. It only has like 25,000 views, so this is in the midst of him losing a bunch of people, having people in. He has like a little 3-minute excerpt, so we're gonna watch that, reflect on where we went from there, that 4-8 season and the transfer problems, and then to where we are today. And then, of course, we have some small updates, nothing that's like worth a full video. Defensive line commit, some people who are coming for visits. You got Quinton Gibson, which I think this is the biggest news, him being National Player of the Year as a 3-star. But we're going to get to that. Let's first go to the throwback, a flash for the past. And let's hear with April 17th. So this is before the season, 2023, first season, 4-8. And this is what Dion had to say about the transport.
Hey, one more. Go ahead back there.
Tony Gorman, Colorado Public Radio. Thank you, Coach. Question. You talked about the transfer portal when you first got here. We've gone through National Signing Day, 2 phases of that. Now we're in spring practice towards the end, so to speak. What's the traffic been like for the transfer portal?
Good.
How many people have left?
What, for us? Or
yes. Well, both ways. How many people, since you talked about the transfer portal and people go ahead hopping in during spring practice, how many people have you weeded out? How many people are coming
what do you
in?
see? We don't weed anyone out. They weed themselves out. We don't tell them. We don't make them quit. They quit. Or I don't want to say quit. They jump in the transfer portal. You call that what you want. Okay. Before a national televised game, before a sellout crowd. So you call that what you want. Okay. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Let me complete that. We're not upset that anybody jumped in the portal now. Okay? And we're elated that the young men that we have coming in, because they're difference makers. They're truly difference makers. And we're not trying to find anyone in the portal that's going to come and occupy space. We're looking for go-getters, mama savers, daddy savers. We're looking for family resurrection guys. Like they gonna resurrect the whole darn family. We're looking for the Trevor Woods type of guys that just want it, that loves to play this game and embodies it. Not just coming over here to eat 3 great meals a day and live comfortably for the length of a scholarship. We're not looking for that. And everyone in the country knows I'm not looking for that. I don't get down like that. I'm not looking for someone that just want to come and have a bag. I want you to have a bag. I want you to earn it. I want you to go get it. And then I'm going to teach you how to preserve it, how to make it last forever. Keep Sweat. I'm going to teach you those intricate things about being a man and taking care of the family. But it has to be about football first. It has to be about that love. So I've given the coaches several significant questions to ask those recruits. And I want significant responses from those recruits. But I promise you, when we go out there and play our first game, you're going to be happy with the product that we place on the field for you. I promise you that. God bless you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
And ladies.
There's a lot of expression with time, and one that's coming directly to my head is the whole expression that time heals all wounds, right? And I don't think that the wounds has anything to do with this, but the idea of time and it almost revealing things. I think time allows for perspective, right? And that little 3-minute, 3-minute part of this interview before they even played any actual football, it speaks to so much volumes to where we are January 7th, 2025 in relation to Deion Sanders, what has transpired this season, last season. Like, let's just go slowly here. Let's start with Trevor Woods of all people, right? This is somebody who was seen as a glue guy, especially in that first season, that horrendous season. Some of the highest points were with Trevor Woods, and that was a guy that if you were a Buffalo fan, right, and if you're a Colorado fan, especially under the Deion Sanders regime, that was one of your guys, right? If you play football, you know that like the non-flashy type guys that get the job done and they're grinders. Like he's under that mold that if you're a fan of a team, that's your fan favorite. He's one of those guys, right? And to go from there, and then you fast forward to 2024 season where he redshirts in the middle of the season, right? And then eventually enters the transfer portal himself, ideally looking for a better representation. It's crazy. It's crazy the change that happened over time, how highly he spoke of him in the way that it changed there. And then doubly, because I don't think there's anything negative for Trevor Woods, but just I don't know. You can always see anytime we go back, like these era Deion Sanders, especially talking to the Colorado media, it's a lot more tense. It's a lot more. He's trying to tell a message through the things. And, you know, with Cormani McClain situations and other transfer situations that he was going through, the 2023 mass exoduses, people leaving that he probably didn't think was leaving. Like, it was a lot of tumultuousness that he had to deal with in the face of the media, right? And you can see the tenseness. You can see him being able to show the negatives that are happening from the transfer portal, right? He really wanted to get that off. Like, I just want to clarify that I'm not upset. I'm not upset. But clearly, they was going through some stuff. Clearly, there's a lot of people writing a lot of articles and a lot of crazy questions when it comes in a relationship to the transfer portal. And I really felt like he used that time, spacing he could. Remember, this is 2023. This is only, and I'll take you back there, right? I'll take you all the way back. And first off, just to let y'all know, this is the 2022 transfer portal for Colorado. And this is Deion Sanders, the 2023 transfer portal in 2023, right? Absolute, completely different thing, right? But on top of that, like with all these numbers, crazy in 52, but then you have another 57 outgoing, and these are like these weren't just regular dudes. Like some of these guys were players. Some of these guys, I know. Deion Sanders talks about, we've read a lot of interviews or listened to a lot of interviews where he talks about like, hey, who hops in the transfer portal is usually like backups, but these guys are finding places. Liberty, Ball State, Utah State, I was about to say Hawaii. I don't know why I was about to say Hawaii. Houston, right? BYU. Like these are respectable football programs, and it's a lot of them in droves and droves and droves. That is so crazy to think about. 57 people out, 57 people in. He basically replaced all the people that he brought in the transfer portal. So I have to imagine this was an extremely stressful time to be a coach and to be able to trying to answer some of these questions, because this is wait. Did someone transfer from Colorado to Jackson State? Huh. Well, that's cool. Wait, detour. 1 second. I know this ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Yeah, timeline, please. Okay. 2023. And I think he just ended in okay. That's crazy. We had like no connection, but I'm sure Dion has connections to Jackson State. But that's cool to see. Sorry. Complete side note, this is what it looked like. Absolutely big names. And let's see if we have any before we go to the last bit of just quick little updates. I want to see if there's any names here. Omarion Cooper. That's a big name. I don't believe he's not still there. Alton McCaskill was a big name, but he again left as well. Man, it's so crazy to think about. A lot of these guys are already gone, right? Xavier Wilkerson. Is he gone too? I completely forgot. Here you go to right. Dawson, Ward, Bailey, McClendon. And then some of these people, like I don't even remember. I think some of these people were gone 2023, not this year. Jeremiah Brown, we know Jeremiah Brown. Cameron, we know Cam. Travis Shiloh Shador. That's an interesting time. We know what that is. Who we get? Who else? Miles Slusher? Jimmy Horn. Who is that dude? Yeah, come on, we know who those. So very, very impactful dudes. Jimmy Horns of the world. You got Camerons of the world. Jeremiah Brown. But a lot of those people came from Jackson State. So it's kind of, Alejandro Mata, you know what I mean? So it seems like the big ones that stayed in the transfer portal are really the guys that he knew and some Jimmy Horns and things of that nature. And of course, you got LaJohntay Washington. So it's just crazy to see the difference there between the 2 years. But just to wrap up the video, small updates. I want to start with this because I want to yap about this. We did a video about this. Quinton Gibson, kid is 5'8", committed to Colorado, signed to Colorado. He is explosive. He reminds people of Anthony Thomas. People give him Tavon Austin. He reminds me of some dude that I played with high school. I mean, I don't like, and it's no disrespect to him. It's just because this dude was amazing, and I think this dude's about to be crazy too. Division title, blew out, I believe, was it Westlake, some other dominant team in Texas, right? And he was just all over. And crazy game in the state chip to go crazy. I think he had like 3 touchdowns himself. And absolutely crazy. And here we go with some of the numbers. He totaled 2,009 yards, 9th in Texas high school football history, 36 touchdowns, 4th in Texas high school history. Previous winners include Derrick Henry, Kyle Murray, and Bryce Young. And by the way, he's a 3-star somehow. I don't know how. I don't know, man. I don't know who's making the rankings. But him being a 3-star that don't make no sense. So we can go deeper into it because Derrick Henry even commented on it. Sorry, something jumped in my eye. Derrick Henry even commented on this and said it was crazy. But that'll be for a whole nother separate video. But congratulations to Quinton Gibson. This is the other small little update there. Oh yeah, by the way, Coach Prom's doing some tampering in the NFL. Y'all let me know. Y'all want NFL videos? I was gonna do some draft videos, but if y'all want NFL videos, Coach Prom's doing some NFL tampering. So y'all holler at me and I'll get those cranked out for you. Don't worry about it. All right, so Alabama, Georgia, and Colorado are high on 4-star interior offensive linemen Helton's list. This is 2026 4-star offensive lineman I want to play, so depth charts are important to me. And this is somebody out of Carrollton. That's the only reason why I even put this on here. I wouldn't really care about 2026 until we get probably into summer, me personally, right? Or even when we get to actual recruiting. I mean, I don't watch a lot of high school football, but, you know, when it gets to be seriousness, we saw people can sign, commit, and still enter the transfer portal. So that's why I just can't put much credence to y'all. Y'all dogs, but let me see you in a uniform playing a regular season game. Maybe I'll pay attention. Ole Miss transfer offensive lineman Mana Tamani is scheduled to visit Colorado for 2 days. The 6'4", 345 lineman saw action in 4 games for the Rebels last season. So they are just focused. I do like the fact that it seems to be a heavy focus on offensive linemen. Like we've seen defensive backs, we've seen defensive line, but offensive line seems to be, even though they went big last year, even this double down again. And I think that's, if you're a Colorado fan, you should be very happy about that. And, of course, most recently, Texas State defensive lineman Tavion Coleman is headed to Colorado. He has committed. Again, like I said, you're adding in the right places, in the right spots. That's always good to have, right? The more that you compete, the more that these Big 12 schools start sending more people to the draft, the more beef you need to on the inside to compete. But those are the major updates. Like I said, just kind of quick and small there, man. Good to kind of go back in the past and take a peek at what it looked like in the before time, right, in 2023, before the 4-8 season, before Colorado fans and got a sad dose of a better season than they had before. Like, let's be honest with you, he improved every single season. But regardless, man, I appreciate y'all watching these videos. If you like them, leave a like. Dislike if you don't. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content, man. And we will see you next time. Peace.